Hello, friends, and welcome to a review on sentence analysis. And today we're going to be using those fantastic adverbial extensions. Check it out. Here is the box from the classroom of sentence analysis pieces. But of course, you will probably be printing yours off of the drive, and if you haven't done that yet, please make sure to press pause and go do that. You'll need to print those out and cut them out to do this activity. So let's take a look at what's in this box and just refresh our minds on what is possible. We have the predicate, the focus of our sentence. This is telling us about the action in our sentence. Oh, here we are with the subject. And there's an arrow that goes to that as well. Remember that the subject asks the question, who is it that, or what is it that did this action? And here is our direct object. The direct object answers the whom or what question, and very often is what receives the action directly. Here's the indirect object, the question of to whom, to what, for whom, for what, something that is going to be affected indirectly by the action. For example, Johnny kicks the ball to Sally. Sally didn't get kicked by Johnny. Thank goodness. That would be awful. All right. We also have in here the attributives, which tell us which or what kind of. If we had a blue ball that Johnny was kicking, well, these would fit in there very nicely. And then, of course, we have those fantastic adverbial extensions, each one with its own question. Do take some time to get familiar with those questions. Now, when you do this kind of work, you're going to want to make some space so that you can lay all of these out. And I'm realizing you probably want to flip these over too, because you'll be asking yourself these questions as you go through your sentence. So take a second to get those set up, and then we'll begin. Just was able to fit. And of course, we have a whole collection of orange circles for the adverbial extensions. I'm going to move my whole layout to the side. You'll see it peeking off over here. I just want to make sure I have room to also show you my work. So, what I did was I took a piece of lined paper and I cut it into strips, and you'll see there are 3 lines on here. Maybe you need 4, maybe you need 2, maybe you even need 1. A paper cutter can make it much quicker, but a pair of scissors will work just as well. So anyway, the other thing you're going to need is a piece of blank white paper. Although if you really don't have any of this, some more lined paper would fill this next need easily. Because today, when we analyze this sentence, we're also going to draw it. I know, that sounds sort of weird, but we're going to totally do it. So, here is a sentence, and you'll find lots of good example sentences on the drive, but you might also be able to find some in your own books as well. This sentence says, "The rain fell from the sky to earth with thunder and lightning." How dramatic. Can you spot the action? And of course you did. Fell. So I'm going to take my sentence and cut out the action. And that is the predicate. But now we must ask ourselves the first question. Who is it that? What is it that fell? Well, if you said the rain, then you were right. The rain is our subject in this sentence. It is what fell. Whom or what? The rain fell whom or what? I'm actually going to move my layout over a little bit so I can fit in this next part. I'm trying to think. Well, you know, the rain did fall to the earth, and I'm going to guess it got the earth sort of wet too, so it directly affected the earth. Fantastic. The rain fell to earth. Well, did anything get indirectly affected by the rain falling? Did the sky? Not really. It came from the sky, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Did the rain affect the thunder and lightning? No. There's no indirect object in this sentence. Do we have a certain kind of rain, or earth, or sky, or thunder and lightning? Yeah, I don't think so either. We actually won't need our attributives for this sentence analysis either. So to make some room, I remove them. But let's take a look at all these questions here. Because we do have these two pieces of sentence left, and we need to figure out where they come from. Let's see. From the sky. Is that a when? A what for? A by whom or by what? A how? From whom or You're noticing that word from, aren't you? From whom, from what? And that's the adverbial extension of source. Wow. Well, we know that the rain fell from the sky. The source of the rain was the sky, but what about with thunder and lightning? I'm going to cut off this long piece of paper here so I can isolate that. With thunder and lightning, let's look back at our questions. Let's start from the bottom this time. Where? Well, if it was going to the sky, maybe. Why? By means of whom? By means of what? I don't think they caused the rain to fall, but what about with whom? With what? The adverbial extension of accompaniment. Did the thunder and lightning accompany the rain? It sure did. We have an adverbial extension right there of accompaniment. Oh, and I almost forgot my circle there. So there is our sentence analysis. It's complete. I'm going to clear this space because we're about to do something magical with it. Like I said, you're going to need this clean, blank piece of paper. However, we've got to get it under our layout. So I'm going to slowly, piece by piece, and off camera, of course, move my entire layout over. And when I do this, I am also going to find out that I will not have room on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper to completely lay this out. So I am going to have to be a little bit creative with my placement. All right. That looks pretty cool. It almost looks like lightning and thunder coming out of the sky, or maybe the sun. But either way, what you decide it looks like, let's get ready to trace it by getting some colored pencils that match for the subject and objects, for the adverbial extensions, for the attributives, and also for the predicate. And I'm going to start by tracing the predicate. Your pieces might be made of paper, so you'll have to be careful with them, but also you could try gluing them to a piece of cardboard before cutting them out, and you'll have nice, sturdier pieces that you might be able to trace around. As soon as I've traced it, I don't need it anymore. I can put that piece away, but what I do want to do is write the word right there. All right. I could also label this as the predicate. I'm going to take my black pencil and do the subject arrow next. And I know the arrows look a little bit different for your pieces. If you wanted to draw your own arrow instead of tracing, that would be pretty cool too. And the subject. You might even find a way to shade these in nicely as well. And I will get that subject circle traced. Just enough room to fit it on that paper. Another option is you could attach multiple pieces of paper together. The rain. All right. And back to my black pencil to take care of my direct object. So, get that one in there too. And then make sure to label it as the direct object. And to get that circle traced as well. To earth. It was stuck to my hand. Watch out for that. If any of your pieces are missing, that might have happened to you as well. Okay, now I'm going to grab my orange colored pencil to get this adverbial extension of accompaniment in here. All the way around. Whoops. Back to the box and accompaniment, because the rain was accompanied with thunder and lightning. Now that is not going to fit in this circle at all, but I can write it over it, and that should work just fine. With thunder and lightning. This sentence makes me want to draw a picture about this, and maybe that's just what I will do when I am done. Oh, one more adverbial extension to trace. And there we go. That is the adverbial extension of source. And here's our last circle. And our last piece of sentence, from the sky. I bet you're really excited to be able to do this at home now, too. Well, what are you waiting for? Try out some of those example sentences, and then also, if you're feeling up to it, challenge yourself by going and finding sentences in some of your favorite books and poems. Good luck!